Have you ever felt that the goals that you set yourself just never quite stick? No matter how many plans you make, something just feels off. What if the secret wasn't more planning, but it was who you were being this year? Rather than thinking solely about what you want to achieve this year, we talked about that in last week's video, start thinking about the type of therapist you want to be this year. The way that you show up for yourself in your practice, in your life, really does help shape your results, not just the goals that you are setting. In this video, we are going to talk about how you can step into the therapist that you want to be in 2026 to help you achieve your goals. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim. I help therapists in private practice with their business systems and processes, getting them confident with admin and reducing tech overwhelm. And I also have a membership called Goal Getters, which is purely about helping therapists in private practice set and achieve their goals. So what I have found for myself in business is that success comes just as much from who I am being as to what I am doing. When I take on the role of I am a CEO, I am in charge of this, I am a leader, I am confident, I am organized. When I take on those identity traits, I show up differently and it makes a difference to my productivity and my output. So something that my mentor, my client, my friend taught me was about this concept of have, do, be versus be, do, have. Now, I know this is not her concept. She obviously got it for somebody else who I cannot remember right now, but I will put on screen where this is from. But basically the concept is most people operate from the have, do, be. So when I have success, then I will do the thing that successful people do, and then I will be successful. So to put this into like a real world example, when I have enough clients, then I will do the thing that I need to do in order to be the therapist that I want to show up as. But the problem with this is it creates an endless cycle of chasing something and not feeling enough. So the way that my client described it to me is the complete reverse, right? So it is when I show up as my most successful, confident self, then I will be able to do the things I need to do in order to have the things I want to have. So you need to start with the person that you want to be. Be confident, be organized, show up to the world how you want the world to see you, even before you really truly feel like it. So an example for me is I have an Instagram account. I have around 550 followers on there, which in comparison to somebody who has a small business and has a YouTube channel and, you know, has visibility of some sort is tiny. It is absolutely tiny. And actually the people that actually see my reels or my stories is minute, because not many of your followers actually see what you're putting out there. It's the same with these YouTube videos. I have, I think, about 1,400 subscribers, but maybe 100 people watch a video every single week, which I am super grateful for, and I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. But I put out these videos regardless of how many people are going to watch them. I make reels regardless of how many people are going to watch or like or comment. And some people might think that is delusional. But I think one day I might have 10,000 subscribers or followers. I might have 1 million subscribers or followers. And actually, if I don't put in the work, if I don't be the person that I want to be and do the things that I want to do, make the reels, make the videos, I'm never going to have the success that I actually want. So here are some ways that you can embody that identity in really small ways to get started. So the first is how you show up for your clients. Even if you have one client, you still are a therapist, you still own a business, you have a private practice. Show up for that client as if you were seeing 20 clients, as if you had a full private practice, because that client believes in you and that client needs you. Take small daily actions aligned with your vision. If your vision is to have a thriving private practice, what would a successful therapist in a thriving private practice do? How would they show up each day? What would they do? What would they work on? Something that I have spoken to my clients about all over like my business and especially in Goal Getters is if you want to see, let's say you want to see 15 clients a week, but you only have one at the moment. The other 14 hours that you want to work, so you know these are the 15 hours in the week I'm going to work, the other 14 hours should be spent on marketing, on getting those clients. And then gradually the marketing hours will decrease and the client hours will increase. So you want to spend as much time as you want to see seeing clients as getting clients. So that might seem like a big action to take, but it is a small thing you can do, which is utilizing the time where you would be working and seeing clients to getting clients. Another small action you can take is just putting yourself in the mindset of what you want to become this year. So if you want to become a successful private practice owner, if you want to start a membership or a group practice, you want to like elevate what you are doing in private practice, what would the mindset of that person who has achieved the thing already be doing? So I know if I achieved all the goals that I've set myself this year, I would show up very differently. I would be much more confident. I would come to my desk knowing exactly what I needed to do. I would have my time block all set out. I would not deviate from that. I would not procrastinate by calling my friends and talking to them. I would get up early so that I could get the stuff done that I needed to do in the morning before my kids get up so that I can start the day properly. I would take supplements. I would journal every single day. So whatever the things are, start small. You don't need to do all of these things all in one go, but start small and think about how you would show up if you had already achieved what you want to achieve this year. This isn't about perfect execution. It's about consistent alignment with your identity. The third thing in embodying this identity is the magic of future focused reflection. That is why so many people do vision boards, do the word of the year, which I've got a video on. I will link the word of the year video that I have. People who quantum leap into the future and think about how they want their life to be can much more easily embody that identity sooner. What we're not trying to do is fix the past. There's definitely time for reflection on the past, obviously, but what we want to do is think about the future. When we want to embody this new identity, we need to understand what it is we want from the future first. And in my workshop, Crafting Your 2026 Success, we are going to be doing this. The first part of the workshop is all about this future focused vision. We are looking at what it is you want from your year, who you want to be, why are you doing what you are doing. We're also going to be looking at an ideal day in your life and visualizing that. And we are going to be doing an ideal week, and that is much more practical, talking about time blocking and things like that. This is not me just talking to you and teaching you. It is actually you doing the work, and that's why the workshop is 90 minutes. It's completely free, and all of the details are in the description, or you can scan the QR code here. I would love to see you at that workshop. This is the third year I have run it, and I've had such amazing testimonials and feedback about this workshop, and I think this year is going to be the best yet. But just some things that you can think about now ahead of the workshop is, how do I want my day-to-day practice to feel? So it is really about connecting with the feeling, not just the doing. So it's not just, well, I'll turn up at 9 a.m, I will see 2 clients, then I will do some admin. You want to really embody the feeling of how you want your day to feel. Do you want it to feel aligned? Do you want it to feel exciting? Do you want it to feel calm? Do you want to feel organized? Connect with some of the feelings of how you want your day to feel. Then think about, what kind of therapist would show up if I had X? If I had a full practice, how would I show up differently to how I'm showing up now? Finally, I just want to talk you through, because I'm all about practical steps. I'm woo, I like being woo, but I also like to really tie in the practical strategic steps that you can take in order to achieve what you want to achieve. And that really is what Goal Getters, the membership, is about as well. So first of all, just decide on one behavior shift that you can make to stay aligned with your future vision. Maybe that is dressing a certain way. Maybe it's getting out of your comfort zone once a day to do something that scares you. That could be networking with potential referral sources. It could be starting a blog. It could be starting a social media page. It could be writing a Psychology Today profile and just being a little bit more visible. Just decide on something that you can do to step out of your comfort zone. I put a post on my Instagram, I think right at the end of 2025, that said your comfort zone and where the magic happens. And that is something that I put on my vision board as well, because I really think that when you stay in your comfort zone, there's no growth there. In order to grow, in order to make change, you really need to step out of your comfort zone, and it's something that I'm really focusing on in 2026. You can also create some small intentional rituals. So this could be how you start your day, like first thing in the morning. It could be how you start your day when you turn up at your office or you start work. It could be how you end your day. It could be having a weekly planning session. There are so many possibilities here, but try and think of a ritual that you can embody now, even when you don't have the things that you want to have yet. And then finally, and we've talked about this a lot, how would successful you show up in the world? So how would they dress? What kind of drinks would they drink? What would they eat? How would they plan their day? Have a think about and journal on what successful you would look like, and then think about ways that you can start doing that now. My client often talks about like embodying the wealthy person or the healthy person or something like that. And just because you're not that wealthy yet, and you can't necessarily make the purchases you might want to make. Like, for example, I would love to have a bigger house, but it literally is impossible for me right now. But how can I elevate this house now? How can I make this house seem more bougie to me? You know, what are small things that I can do to elevate the house that I'm in now? What would a wealthy person think about this house and how I can change it? It's not about making silly purchases and thinking, oh, successful me would buy a coffee out every single day. You don't need to do that, but you can make yourself a coffee at home and just put it in a really nice mug, or have a really cool straw. I don't know, just whatever it is that floats your boat. But try and think about ways that now you can embody the person you want to be. And these actions aren't goals, they are daily anchors to this new identity you are trying to embody. Okay, so if you've liked this video, we are going to be doing this and so much more in my Crafting Your 2026 Success workshop. I would absolutely love to see you there. Just remember, all of the details are in the description, or you can scan the QR code. It's 90 minutes. It will be the best 90 minutes that you spend working on your goals this year. I can promise you that. And I really look forward to seeing you there. But until next time, thanks so much for watching.